We want to solve 36 minus x squared is greater than 0. To solve a quadratic inequality, we have two different methods we can apply. We can graph the function, or we can do a sign analysis or a sign chart. Both methods start the same way. Even though this is an inequality, we start by solving the corresponding quadratic equation. So we're going to kind of pull it off to the side as some scratch work. So we want to solve 36 minus x squared equals 0. And so here we can either solve this by factoring or by adding the x squared to the other side. I'm going to solve this by factoring. This is the difference of squares. So it's 6 minus x, 6 plus x is equal to 0. And then from the first factor, we would get x equals 6. And from the second factor, we would get x equals negative 6. So I set the quadratic equal to 0. I got out my two solutions. And what I'm going to do for this problem is I'm going to solve it by graphing. When you solve an equation and you find those solutions, you're finding x-intercepts. So what I'm going to do with those two solutions that I just found is plot them on the x-axis. So I have negative 6 and positive 6. And then from here, I'm going to look back at my original function and recognize that this quadratic is going to be a parabola facing down, since the leading coefficient in front of x squared is negative. So I'm going to have this downward facing parabola. And if I really want to, I can let x equal 0 and find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is going to be 36, although we don't need the y-intercept. We really just need to know that this is a downward facing parabola. Because what we're being asked to find in this problem is we're being asked to find where is this parabola greater than 0, or where is it above the x-axis? On what x values is this graph above the x-axis? So that's going to happen between the x values of negative 6 and 6. So not including those values, because that's where this function is equal to 0 or on the x-axis. I want to find all the x values that put my graph above the x-axis. So this is an interval of values as an answer, and it's the interval x values between parentheses negative 6 to positive 6. Now we're going to solve x squared minus 4x minus 12 is less than 0. So again, when I have a quadratic inequality, the first thing that I need to do is solve the corresponding equation. And to solve the corresponding equation, we likely want to factor. So let's just go ahead and jump into factoring. So this is going to factor to factors that start with x and x. And we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give us negative 12 and add together to give us negative 4. So that's going to be x minus 6 and x plus 2. All right, so those are the two factors for my quadratic. And what I want to do is I want to set those two factors equal to 0, again, as like scratch work off to the side. X minus 6 equals 0, so I get x equals 6. And then x plus 2 equals 0, I get x equals negative 2. Or of course, you can do that mentally, just in your head. So we want those two values. The method we did in the last example was we graphed from here. We recognized those are x-intercepts, and we graphed a quick sketch of the parabola. The other option is to do a sign chart or a sign analysis. Analysis. And so what that means is we're going to construct a number line over the domain of the function. Well, a quadratic's domain is all real numbers. So I'm going to construct a number line from negative infinity to infinity, and I'm going to put my two values, negative 2 and 6, on that number line. And I'm going to label them with a little z for 0 to remind myself those are zeros of the function. And what I want to know is over each interval that's created here, so we've sort of broken things down into 3 intervals by putting those numbers on the number line, over each of these intervals, is the function positive or negative? I want to know where the function is negative. So less than 0 means I want negative values. All right, so what we're going to do is pick a representative test point in each interval. So I'm going to pick a test point, something between negative infinity and negative 2. It's a lot of options. I'm going to pick negative 3. Between negative 2 and 6, I'm going to pick 0. It's the nicest number to pick. And between 6 and infinity, I'm going to pick 7. And what we do with these test points is we plug them into the function to see what comes out. We want the negative intervals. Well, should we plug these test points into the original function? We can, but that's going to require us to do computation. I'd have to plug negative 3 and square it, negative 4 times negative 3, and combine all these together. So instead of plugging it into the original, we can plug it into the factored version. We can plug it into x minus 6 times x plus 2. And then just simply look at the sign of each factor. So negative 3 substituted into x minus 6, that's negative 3 minus 6. That's going to be a negative number. So the first factor is negative. And negative 3 plus 2, that's also a negative. So our first and second factor would be negative, and a negative times a negative is a positive overall. So this whole interval is positive numbers. We don't want this first interval from negative infinity to negative 2. Then we plug in 0. 0 minus 6, that's a negative number. 0 plus 2, that's a positive number. And a positive times a negative is a negative. We do want this middle interval between negative 2 and 6. So we want the interval from negative 2 to 6, not including negative 2 or 6, because that's where the function equals 0. We want where is it less than 0, just less than 0, not less than or equal to 0. And finally, if we plug in 7, 7 minus 6 is positive, and 7 plus 2 is positive. So positive and positive multiplied give us a positive. So we only wanted that middle interval. We didn't want these two outer intervals. So this is my solution set. One last quick warning. Here, it's tempting to factor and then think about what we do in terms of equations. It's tempting to want to go from here and then say x minus 6 is less than 0 and x plus 2 is less than 0. But unfortunately, that is not an option for quadratic inequalities. We have to either construct a sign analysis or a sign chart, or we can graph the quadratic and look at where is it either above or below the x-axis depending on the problem. Now let's solve 36 plus x squared is greater than 0 and 36 plus x squared is less than 0. Even though these are quadratic inequalities, we don't have to do a graph or a sign analysis. We can actually use a little bit of number sense. To solve an inequality, we're looking for all x values that when we substitute them in, it makes the inequality true. We'll take any x value in your mind right now. If you take that x value and you square it, and you add 36, that number is always going to be greater than 0. Because if you take 0 squared, this number is 0. Add 36, that's greater than 0. And if you take any positive number and square it, stays positive. Then you add 36, you're still greater than 0. And even the biggest negative number you can think of, if you square it, that makes it positive. Then you add 36 and you're still greater than 0. So the solution set here is all real numbers, which we can express as x values in the interval from negative infinity to infinity. Sometimes this is written as x in this boldface R for all real numbers. Now, on the other hand, if I want to solve 36 plus x squared is less than 0, we know that this is never going to happen. There's no x value that I can plug in and square and add 36 to that will give me a negative. So this has no solution. And we would express that, or we can express that using the empty set, which looks like a 0 with a line through it. If you didn't recognize that these could be solved using number sense, and you proceeded in a traditional manner where you try to set x squared plus 36 equal to 0, you would end up with x squared equals negative 36, and trying to take the square root of that would give you the imaginary numbers plus or minus 6i. And that's because if you think about the graph, this is a parabola shifted up 36 units. So this is always above the x-axis. That's why the answer is all real numbers here, or it's never below the x-axis, so the answer is no solution. Or if you would have tried to do a sign analysis, there's no x-intercepts or zeros, so you could pick any test point you want, say 1, substitute 1 into the inequality, 1 squared plus 36, that's greater than 0, so this is always positive. Or if you're trying to solve this inequality, it's never negative.